What's going on? All right, real quick, just want to show you guys how to calculate the number of calories you should be taking in on a daily basis, depending on whether you want to lose weight or gain weight. It's very, very vital that you know how many calories you need to take in order to accomplish your goals, and then it gives you a good number on where to start as far as where you're going to track your calories and how you're going to set up your macronutrients. Very simple, so let's get started. Alright, what we have here is a buddy of mine who's been asking me about counting calories and how much to eat. So what we did is we just went to Google. It's 2017, so calculating this stuff's fairly easy. I went to Google, type in calorie calculator. What you're going to do is you're going to enter your age. This gentleman is 43 years old. You're going to enter your gender. He's a male. He's 5'10", and he weighs 175 pounds. So you enter all that in, and then you have to determine your activity level. Basic metabolic rate is simply the amount of calories you need in order for your body to function outside of any type of activity that you do. So your heart beating, your lungs breathing, everything digesting food, central nervous system, brain working, and all that good stuff. Here's your basic metabolic rate. That's the number of calories you need in order just to your body to do what it needs to do behind the scenes, if you will. Sedentary, laying on the couch doing nothing. Light activity is 1 to 3 times a week, probably. I'd say less than an hour of not very intense type of exercise. Moderately active is 3 to 5 times a week, and it's probably be a very intense weight workout would probably fall in there if you do it to 3 to 5 times a week. Very active are for your athletes. Extra active is for people who exercise regularly, and also on top of that have a very grueling job and or sports schedule, whatever. This gentleman owns a landscaping company. He owns a landscaping company, likes to run as exercise and lifts weights. So very, very, very active. He's going to obviously fall in this very hard exercise, sports, or physical job. If you're on the fence on one of these categories, if you're trying to lose weight, go conservative. So if you're sitting in this area right here, but you're trying to cut weight, go with the lightly active option. If you're sitting in these two areas right here on the fence and you're trying to gain weight, go with the more aggressive one in order to make sure that you get enough calories in. So hit that. Obviously you're going to hit calculate, and he's going to come out to 3221 to keep the way he's going now. These are the amount of calories he needs to take in on a daily basis in order to lose a pound or 2 pounds a week, and this is what he needs to take in order to gain 1 or 2 pounds a week. Lose weight 2 pounds a week is probably the max, and anything outside of that you're going to start probably losing a little bit of muscle with it. 1 pound a week is probably the max as far as gaining weight goes. I would actually say half a pound is probably the max. Anything above half a pound to a pound per week of weight gain, you're probably getting to the point where you're putting in more or putting on more body fat than you are muscle, lean muscle mass. So I would stick to the 3721 in order to put good quality muscle on, but at the same time still keep your muscle mass. If he finds that he's losing weight at 3720 calories a day, 3721 calories a day, then he can definitely bump it up to 4221 in order to preserve that muscle. So this is where we get our 3721. That's our starting point. That's our daily caloric need, and as you can see, very, very simple to calculate with the use of the World Wide Web and this wonderful thing that we know now in 2017 called technology. Now that we figured out the number of calories you need per day, or our landscaper needs per day, what we want to do is determine the number of macronutrients. Now, macronutrients are good. This is a base plan to use. Gauge it for 4 to 6 weeks. See if you're meeting your goals as far as weight gain or weight loss goes. And if you're not gaining or losing as fast at all or as fast as you thought you might. Adjust it just a little bit, decrease your carbohydrates, decrease your proteins or whatever in order to meet your goals. And again, everyone's going to be different, but this is a good baseline way to start, and then adjust as you go, as you start to learn what it is. One thing I will advise or recommend to you is, before you put it in your mouth, put it in your phone or your calorie tracking app. Do that so that you can kind of see what you're putting in. I guarantee after you use that app for a while, you're going to start to learn what things increase your carbohydrates or your proteins or your calories count or whatever the most. So put it in your phone before you eat it, and then that way you have a good idea what's going on. And the best part about that is if you put it in and it does cause you to go over, then you can obviously avoid eating it rather than eat it, and then you've already done it, and you've got some issues. So put it in your phone before you do. So 3,721 calories is our daily caloric intake. So we're going to start with that number. Protein is easy. Protein, you want to get 1 gram of protein for every ounce of body weight. So our gentleman weighs 175, so he's going to get 175 grams of protein. Now each gram of protein has 4 calories in it. So we're going to multiply that by 4, and that gives us 700. So 700 of the 3,721 worth of calories is going towards protein. Fat, do the same thing, but you want to do 40%. So multiply your current body weight by 0.4 or 40%. 175 times 40% is approximately 70 grams. So his fat intake on a daily basis is going to be 70 grams of fat. Now, each gram of fat is worth 9 calories, so we're going to multiply that by 9. And that gives us 630. Now, in order to figure the carbs, this is where a little bit of math comes in, but it's not too difficult. What we do is we add these two, 700 plus 630, which is 1330, and we're going to subtract that from 3,721, which gives us 2391. Okay? Now, there are 4 calories in every gram of carbohydrate. So, a little bit of algebra, we're going to divide this number by 4 to determine the number of grams of carbohydrates we need per day. 175.70, 2391 divided by 4 is approximately 598. So, the macronutrients for our landscaping buddy here is 175 grams of protein, 70 grams of fat, and roughly 550 to 600 grams of protein. Remember, he's trying to put on weight, so he's going to load his muscle stores up with glycogen from the carbohydrates, so he has plenty of energy to do what he has to do as far as his job and his exercise regimen goes, and still be able to put on some good healthy muscle because he's getting enough protein, and still be able to function well because he's getting plenty of fat as well. Fat is a major proponent for men in creating testosterone, so you don't want to go low fat because you're going to hurt your testosterone levels. So fats are very important, but obviously in moderation. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was informative. Coming to you more with certain diets and how to use this to work to fit into certain diets that can help your body meet your goals even quicker. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys later.